And now, broadcasting live from the Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle Studios, this is On the Mark When on the Mic with Mark Saxton.
First and foremost, obviously watching this, now, being a 90s kid, I might be a little biased, but I loved how 90s this movie was. I loved seeing all the old computers and printers and phones, and that was funny to me in itself. I loved it. It was a great movie.
And Michael Spillin.
I mean, the Indiana Fever almost can't catch a break while they're still maintaining kind of good basketball on the floor. They just can't catch a break when it comes to the injury bug. They say Caitlin Clark is making progress, still not even like full participant at practice with the groin injury. Honestly, with 14 games left, why even push it? You might as well just sit the rest of the 14 games and get her ready for the playoffs.
Now, On the Mark When on the Mic is on.
And welcome in to On the Mark When on the Mic here, Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle, e5280sports.com. Don't forget to go all of our social media pages and everything like that. Subscribe, like, follow, whatever the case may be. Go to our YouTube channel as well. Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, on the old Tickety Talk now. This and many pods on the network also brought to you by Pikes Peaks Sports Cards, if I can get that all out in one sentence. We are here Sunday evening, kind of our base time nowadays. We got a big one for you as we will get into what are you watching, and obviously a champion was crowned yesterday. Blah. And then NFL Week 9 news and notes, and we're still in the middle of some games right now. Also we are in the middle of Week 9. We're still in the middle of some games. We got Sunday night coming up here shortly. We got Monday night, and then we will get into maybe a preview of Week 10. Then we'll spin the wheel review halfway through the show, which is our entertainment portion of the pod. We'll dive into some Band of Brothers, Sopranos, and see what our watching assignments. Mark already failed his assignment. He's blaming it on work. Yeah, that's they all say apparently. But anyway, we'll get into that here. And also a big network announcement coming up towards the end of the show. Excited to kind of release that and excited for you to find out what it is. You won't really have to do much except get used to what this this big announcement is. So we'll get into that. Mark, how the heck are you this evening?
I'm good considering. I'm kind of done with sports after this weekend. Got a lot of disappointment, a lot of heartache, but other than that, I guess I can't complain. Glad to be here with you, ready to talk about it all.
Yes, we are here. And yeah, so I guess we'll dive right into what are we watching. And you know what I'm going to start with? I'm going to start with what I'm not watching. I'm not here for it. Screw this guy. That's John Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. This guy just cannot get out of his own way. I don't know what he needs, Mark. I mean, I'm sure the NBA has paid therapy sessions. So I'm not sure what this dude needs. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, was it during COVID? He was flashing guns on his Instagram page, got suspended, got in trouble, and then he's doing gun gestures and grenade gestures on the court. Doesn't give any Fs here and there. And he just got suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies for contract detrimental to the team. After a press conference a game or two ago, he said, why don't you ask the coaches? They don't, they're not playing me. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And then during one of the timeouts, he wasn't even near his teammates, standing way far away from the team during a huddle. And I literally don't know what this guy needs, Mark, but he needs someone to talk to. Does he need to join the military to get this gun and grenade infatuation out of the way? I don't know what he needs. But that I'm not here for what this guy has been up to the last couple of seasons.
I don't understand it, man. It's the epitome of grow up. You're making top dollar, arguably one of the more talented guys in the league, and you have this infatuation with wanting to act out every chance you get. I don't understand it. You actually took this one was also on my not watching list. I'm tired of seeing the guy like I did. I used to stick up for Ja Morant back when he first started. I'm like, hey, you know what? He's young. Give him some time. I've ran out of excuses for the guy, and I'm with you. I don't know what he needs. Maybe a hug. Maybe he needs a hug. Maybe mom and dad need to come back and babysit for a little while. I have no idea, but he like you said, he can't get out of his own way, and it's getting old. It's getting old to watch. I'm sure it's got to be getting old to be playing. Like if you're a teammate to be playing next to, it's probably a distraction. I don't know what this guy's issue is.
Yeah, I don't know what he needs. If he needs to go to a shooting range, I don't know. I mean, those are around. I mean, does he have a punching bag? I don't know what he needs, but he needs some kind of talk to somebody or just get whatever is whatever is in his system. He needs to get out because, yeah, like you said, it's getting annoying, and I am not here for it. So, once again, Ja Morant suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies. I didn't see how long. I'm assuming indefinitely until maybe
I think it was just one game. From what I saw.
Yeah, he needs to be suspended until he's like, it's like take a mental health day, bro, because this is not working out. After the whole gun thing, I'm honestly surprised Memphis kind of stuck with him. I get it; he's a really good player, but we shall see what happens to Ja Morant. Maybe his future is in question in Memphis, and please get him someone to talk to. Or like you said, just go give him a hug if you see him out on the street. And if you're strolling around Memphis, in the words of Mark Cohen, he was walking in Memphis. And so if you see that, go give him a hug. Him in his blue suede shoes. Go give him a hug.
That's right. That's right. I love it. And maybe pack a Nerf gun, have like a little Nerf gun fight, maybe help get out of the system.
Even what are the super soakers? That'll be a fun little.
Let's bring it back to Christmas Story. Get him a Red Ryder, dude. Let's dive into this.
take him to a laser tag facility and just go all out with this dude because he needs something.
Love it. I love it.
All right. Anything else you're not watching or not into, not interested in?
I really,
but
honestly, I'm getting really. This is on my not watching list. Is the way. Obviously, I've talked about this before on the show, where I get sick of how they market players and teams and they kind of shove rosters down our throats. But I'm adding this to the list where announcing has gotten awful. Last night, do they get a bonus if they talk about Ohtani more? I mean, I don't understand. Every juncture that they try to bring it back to Ohtani in some way, shape, or form. And I don't understand with the announcing the way that we have to, everybody knows he's the best, one of the best players, arguably the best player on planet Earth right now. We know he could pitch. We know he could steal. We know he could hit. Why are we being reminded of it every other sentence in that World Series as if there isn't other people playing in that World Series?
Turn myself off mute. Yeah, I mean, I get it, I guess, because, I guess he's a feared hitter and a feared pitcher all at the same time. You're paying this dude gazillions amount of money to do both of that. And I don't know. I mean, he did have a very short leash last night in Game 7. I think he was taken out in the third inning.
I think he played 2 2/3, something like that.
Yeah, and then he gave up a hit, and he was almost pulled immediately after that. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I get both sides of it. Why people are tired of it. Why people are talking about him so much. Just because of the fact that not only does he make a lot of money, Mark, but I mean, he is kind of, backing up that amount of money with what he brings to the field. I remember last year for the Dodgers, he didn't pitch at all. Was just basically a full-time designated hitter. This year, they kind of mixed him into the starting rotation. Was it more towards the end of the season and especially in the playoffs? And it was cool to have the headline, Shohei versus Scherzer. That was kind of a cool headline for Game 7. Cool to see the husky-eyed old man pitch still at 41 years old, and Max Scherzer. Still cool to see him pitch. But I guess I could see the flip side again. Shohei is making a lot of money. I'm assuming he's worth a lot of money based on what he brings to the team, pitching and hitting. And like I said, he's feared in both categories. He's obviously a really great hitter, leadoff hitter, can steal bases and stuff like that. But also, he brings the heat on the mound too. But for as much as you don't really, I don't even really see marketing for baseball other than, hey, catch the World Series tomorrow on Fox. Like that seems to be the extent of it when it comes to talking about this sport. So I don't know I'm sure they'll release the ratings here soon for the World Series to see how many people watched it. We talked about the memes that came out, like basically everybody except for the state of California is rooting for Toronto. We laughed and chuckled like if Toronto were to win a World Series before a hockey team, a Canadian hockey team won. And I'm just going to transition into what I'm watching. And that, for as much as I did not want the Dodgers to win, Mark, this World Series was an instant fall classic.
Absolutely.
You have a Game 7. Toronto had multiple chances to close this out.
Oh yeah.
They had, I think, 14 people left on base yesterday in a Game 7. You just cannot. The Dodgers had 11, but 14 guys left on base. You had more hits than the Dodgers. You let off the bottom of the 11th with a Vladdy Jr. double. He got to third base, 1 out. You got to convert on opportunities like that to win a game, tie a game, whatever the case may be. I think that was opportunity to tie it because Will Smith hit a home run in the top of the 11th. So I don't know. Toronto had everyone was rooting for Toronto, I feel like, but it was for, again, back to back. It's hard to go back to back in any sport. First time since the 2000 Yankees to go back to back. So it's been 25 years since a team had done this. And yeah, sick of the Dodgers, sick of everything. But it was a pretty good series to watch.
No, I completely agree. It had offense, it had defense, it had drama. Hell, we even got a benches clearing incident last night. I loved. The only thing I didn't love was that the Dodgers were in it. It was a great World Series to watch. I think this is the most I've watched a World Series. Like I watched. I think I only missed one game. I think I watched 6 out of 7. And honestly, I haven't watched a World Series or been that vested into a World Series in a very long time. Where, usually I'll just catch the end of, like 4 or 5 of them. This one I watched, 90% of the games and almost every single inning. So, like I said, it had its fair share of offense, obviously a lot of drama, extra innings. Everything you could hope for in a championship series. And then going to Game 7, where, like you said, let's talk about the Jays had bases loaded and they still couldn't punch one through to win the game. Obviously, and I hate to be that guy because the Dodgers are a dangerous team no matter what you're talking about in the lineup. So I hate to be this guy, but your relief pitcher, as much as hard as they fought, you can't leave that there. You cannot leave that there for a Will Smith. You can't leave any pitches, up for chance, and that's what they did. And they gave 2 solo shots, one to tie it. That's what the Dodgers tied it with, and then one to win it. So giving up 2 solo shots, in the ending parts of the game, obviously you're not going to win ball games like that. But no. I agree with you. Absolutely fantastic World Series. I think it's a classic or an instant classic as well. And as much as I hate to say it, congrats to everybody at the Dodgers organization. I hate you guys, and I hope that you lose every game next year.
And, everyone's going to talk about the payroll. I think I saw a number where the Dodgers sent $1.2 billion of salary just to the mound, just to pitch. And I know Shohei makes up a lot of that. And obviously this is overall salary when it comes to paying pitchers. But yeah, how do you say his name? I'm gonna screw it up.
Yamamoto.
He did pitch out of his mind. I mean, he did have a complete game shutout in game 3 or whatever it was. And then I mean, it looked, first glance, you're like, oh, he's closing the game last night, but he did get the win last night because they did score while he was pitching. So he had three of the 7 wins for the Dodgers. He ended up winning World Series MVP, probably well deserved. He did pitch out of his mind in this World Series. And so, yeah, you look at the payroll and you're like, I mean, obviously we call them the Yankees of the National League. They Mark, this year they paid $200 million more than the Yankees for their payroll this year, for their salaries, for their roster. And everyone's like, well, yeah, it's easy to win a World Series when you just buy it. At first glance, you're like, yeah, that's right, screw them. But then you're like, I wish my team would do that. I wish I wish the lowly Colorado Rockies would spend $200 million over the salary cap, pay the luxury tax, pay it, and then so you're almost like, yeah, screw them for paying for their titles. But again, I wish my team would pay for titles at the same time.
No, I completely agree with that. I'm also one of those people. I'm a big sports fan. On the side of, if you don't like it, stop it. Don't whine and cry about it. Stop it. And I'm the same way as you, where I would love, like, the last 5 to 7 years where the Padres have spent the money that they have. I was excited. Hey, we're finally making a go at it. We're trying new things, trying bigger players, bigger bats, bigger arms. I'm all for it. I do see where people can get frustrated saying, well, they bought it. Well, yeah, but the days of old of playing for your favorite team, playing for your home team, that doesn't make money. And that's the league won't take care of the players. So you'd be a fool to try and play the nice guy in this business. It's a business, and that's exactly what you got to do. You got to spend money to make money. And right now they're making all the money because they just want it all. So I get it. I get the complaints, but I don't agree with them.
Yeah, and now Dodgers walking away with 3 titles in 5 years. So that's pretty remarkable too when you think about, maybe we put an asterisk in the 2020 season because it was just a weird season overall. I don't know. It is what it is. So. What they play 60 something games that season. It was just a weird, obviously COVID ruined season, but
But I mean, like everybody else, they knew everybody had the same information and had the same prep period. And it makes me mad because this debate always makes me stick up for the Dodgers, which I hate very much. But everybody had the same plan. Everybody had the same schedule. They went and won it. I mean, I don't see why people are like, oh, that one don't count. Well, everybody else had the same opportunity.
Yeah, except for the Lakers. Theirs does not count.
I love that.
Screw that. We can't give LA 2 titles in 1 year. Sorry, we can't do it. We can't. Anything else on the docket here? But we'll get into NFL. But besides NFL, anything else here that you are watching, not watching? I'm kind of, Joel Embiid made some comments the other day. Again, this dude has played 50 games in the last 3 seasons. It's just crazy. Fleecing, by the way, the 76ers with his contract money. But he made some comments and kind of sick of this dude as well. And then he just got fined by the NBA for doing the whatever, the suck it after he made an. I mean, it's been 3 years since he made got an and one opportunity because he never plays, but he was fined. So at least he's giving some of that robbed money back to wherever that money goes. I think fines and stuff go to some charities or something like that. I think, could be completely wrong on that, but kind of sick of Joel Embiid as well. And we were just fine when you didn't hear about him when he was hurt.
Yeah, I agree. And the complaining and the whining and just honestly, let's call it what it is. Just being a cancer in any locker room, he just decides to show up in. And it's I'm okay if he goes away. I'm okay with that.
There you go. All right. Anything else on before we dive into the NFL here?
Yeah, the MLS, the playoffs in full swing. Watching that, I think it was pretty exciting. San Diego, Portland went into penalty kicks last night. San Diego losing, so the final game of that series is going back to San Diego on Sunday at 9 a.m., I believe. So once again, Michael, like I told you, I'm just done with sports this weekend. Everybody disappointed me this weekend.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty depressing, I guess. Speaking of which, we'll get into the NFL here. So more disappointment coming your way, Mark, as NFL Week 9 is about 90% complete. We'll wait for the later afternoon games to wrap up, and then we got Sunday Night Football and then Monday Night Football. But another crazy week in the NFL. Again, get this out of the way. If the Broncos could play a full, complete game, Mark, they might be like blowing out teams. They literally wait until, I don't know, sometimes the end of the third, middle of the fourth, whatever the case may be. They just wait until the very end to show up and play games. And their defense didn't allow a touchdown today, but they gave up a few field goals, 15 points worth of field goals. And Bo Nix threw for 2 touchdowns. Again, not 100% sold on the shortest name in NFL history, but I mean, dudes are wide open. He's overthrowing them. I mean, he's throwing passes too high when guys are wide open, and then he'll sling one in there, and so he completes that, but he misses a wide open dude. So just the consistency needs to tighten up a little bit for him. I'm still not sold on Sean Payton as a play caller. Again, 3rd and 16. Let's throw a 2-yard screen pass, and for a loss of 6, it's just, it's confusing and head scratching. But once again, the Broncos get an 18-15 win over the Houston Texans. 6 in a row now for Denver, by the way. 7-2, sitting atop the AFC. And I don't know if you saw this, the hit on C.J. Stroud. A lot of people pinned it as dirty. I called it a bitch slide because he was literally looked like he was just sitting down. He wasn't even all the way down, and couldn't even tell you who 31 is on the Broncos, Mark, because he never plays. He came in, hit him shoulder to chest. Wasn't a illegal hit. It would have been illegal if C.J. Stroud was in a full on complete slide. And I had to disagree with you. Mentioned announcers earlier. I like Daryl Johnson as a color guy. But I had to disagree with him. He said, "You see him going down. You're able to pull. You're able to pull up." And dude, this guy's doing full speed, bro. Like, I don't know what you did as a fullback back in the early '90s, but dude, he's like just try to go high and completely miss him.
No, I disagree completely. Even Tom Brady came out and said that if a quarterback is going to put himself out there and he's going to slide, he needs to slide and he needs to get down and he needs to get out of the way. And if he does a fake slide or anything like that, it should be a penalty on the quarterback, or he should be able to get every bit of punishment that the defense is bringing him. And I completely agree with you, Michael. You're not pulling back. Now, there are very, very small instances where you can tell if a human body can pull up in a certain point. But when you're 260 pounds, mostly muscle, and you're at full speed, I'm sorry, you're not stopping. You're not stopping, because that at that point you're meant to knock something over or go through something.
Yeah. So he did hit him shoulder to chest again before C.J. Stroud was. They picked up the flag, so they reviewed it and deemed it not an illegal hit anyway. So screw all you people who think it was a dirty hit. But C.J. Stroud, he did get the little whiplash, his head slung back, hit the grass. He did leave the game, did not return with concussion protocol and all that. So good old Davis Mills wasn't much better. Came in and tried his best, but the Broncos once again get a win on a last-second field goal. Chargers keeping pace in the AFC West as they get a win over the lowly Tennessee Titans. 49ers saw McCaffrey score again. They get a win over the Giants 34-24. Patriots, how about Drake May leading the NFL in touchdown passes?
He might be the guy.
you didn't have that on your bingo card, but they did squeak out a victory over the Atlanta Falcons 24-23, and your favorite game, the Carolina Panthers. And I don't know. See, I think these jerseys are uglier than what Pittsburgh wore last week. Sorry, but should they let people vote on these jerseys? Because I don't know. It's cool doing the throwback and going way back. What is this, 1920s Packers?
Yeah, I think it was the 20s and the 30s.
Yeah, so I mean, it is cool to do that and kind of get a glimpse of what these dudes were wearing back in the day when they were smoking cigars on the sideline and working at a grocery store for a second job. But
working on the railroad.
Yeah, but the Packers drop a heartbreaker in Carolina, 16-13 on Jordan Love's 27th birthday, and they were talking about that before the game. They said Brett Favre got to win on his 27th birthday, Aaron Rodgers got to win on the 20th, and then they jinxed poor little Jordan Love, as he did not get a win on his 27th birthday.
Yeah, it was a rough day. It was a rough game. I mean, first off, I think they did those jerseys. They did them better than what they looked like a few years ago. Still not the biggest fan of them, but I thought it was cool that they implemented the leatherhead into the print into the helmet. I thought that was cool. But no, I'm right there with you. I don't think those are. I think they're better than the Steelers ones from last week, but not by much.
I don't know I don't know whose is worse or whose is better, honestly. The Packers should have worn them last week when they played the Steelers wearing their ugly ones, and then
it would have made sense. It would have been the battles of the uglies.
Yeah, and the battles of the 20s or whatever it was. Speaking of battles, the NFC North battle between the Vikings and Lions. Vikings squeak out a 27-24 victory. J.J. McCarthy back in action as Carson Wentz is done for the year. He's going to have shoulder surgery, but McCarthy looks like he didn't really miss a beat, finding Justin Jefferson for a touchdown, slinging the rock all over the place, and the Lions get the loss there. So the NFC North gets a little interesting because the Chicago Bears get a win. I don't know. That was a crazy game because I mean, again, Shane Falco just ripping the ball all over the place for Cincinnati. Bears were up by like 17 in the fourth, and then all of a sudden Cincinnati took the lead. I mean, this game had over 90 points of scoring, but the NFC North, again, gets a little interesting with the Bears' victory. Green Bay fell to 5-2-1 with the stupid tie. Detroit falls to 5-3. Bears improved to 5-3. Minnesota gets back to 500 at 4-4. So what do you make of this NFC North? Being a Packers fan, it's getting a little crowded. I don't have, the team's kind of upcoming games on the schedule here, but I would imagine maybe Green Bay fans such as yourself, are you sweating a little bit, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing some teams climb up? I mean, the Detroit loss was big. I don't know if you're necessarily worried about the Vikings sitting at 500, but if JJ played the way he did today, kind of going down the stretch for the Vikings, you might say you're a little nervous. But what do you make of this NFC North now?
No, I agree with you. I wouldn't say I'm sweating the other teams, but I'm more sweating because of the Packers themselves. I mean, we play up to our competition and we play down to our competition. We played down to the Browns. We played down to the Panthers. I mean, we played down to the Cardinals. But then look what we did against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. So I'm more worried about the consistency on our own squad than I am really than what's around us. We are in first place. It's we control our own destiny, as I think is what scares me the most, because like I said, the inconsistency is real, and you can't win ball games doing what they did today. We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop a runny nose with that front four, and then making just questionable play calls today, missed field goals. All over the roster was mistake after mistake. So just a tough day, tough going forward. I believe next Monday we have the Eagles. Obviously, going to be a tough opponent, especially prime time. I believe that one is in Philly as well. So, and then To be honest with you, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Bear hater, but I don't think I'm as worried about the Bears as people want you to believe. I think I think today showing that they blew the lead that they have is kind of just a telltale tale of who they are. And JJ McCarthy, like you said, looked great today. If he could look like that going down the stretch, especially against an opponent, a rival at the rival's own home. And the Lions, I feel like, are kind of the same in the same boat as the Packers, where you're kind of playing down to your competition, you're playing up to your competition. Nobody really knows who these guys are, and that's what makes it scary.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of NFC North, the Bears once again in a shootout, 47-42 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Caleb Williams, 280 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. But how about Shane Falco? And of course, I mean Joe Flacco, 470 passing yards. He did have 4 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions. He found T. Higgins a couple times in the end zone for the Bengals, and you were like, dang, yeah, T. Higgins, 7 catches, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 6 catches for 111 yards. He didn't see the end zone. But finally, both of those receivers who signed big extensions are like, finally, we're getting the ball, and then you lose. Yeah, just a heartbreak loss there for the Bengals. Steelers finally slow down Indiana Jones and the Colts as they get a win and improve to 5-3. Steelers 27-20. And then Thursday night, the game that we saw on Thursday, the Ravens absolutely demolish the poor little Miami Dolphins, 28-6. Miami subsequently fired their GM after that game. I mean, Mike McDaniels has got to be sitting on a chair that's just on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, are they giving him one more game? What do you think how long is a 2-part question, I guess. How long are they giving Mike McDaniel, and how long are they giving Tua to be their starting quarterback?
I'm glad you brought that up. This is something that I definitely wanted to talk about. To be honest, I would have. So when the GM went, I would have cashed in the season. I would have got rid of McDaniel. And listen, I don't think McDaniel is one of the worst coaches out there, or anything like that. I think it's just time for a change of scenery. So I would have fired him. I would have dealt Tua for as much as I can get out of him. I would have. The only 2 I'd probably keep at this point would be Waddle and Achane, and I would try and deal everybody else and try and get as much as I could in return, and keep my eyes out there for the next head coach. So, being as far, in the Dolphins' mind, how much longer they got, I'm surprised they're all still there. I personally, I don't think they're going to finish the season. Like I said, I would have already pulled the plug, but I believe if they don't look decent next game, I believe that's that.
It's got to be a short leash here. I mean, heading down to the, kind of the stretch run. You got 8 more games left. Trade deadline looming here. I don't know how much interest you're going to get from Tua. I think you just kind of downright maybe just eat whatever he's taken up and just cut ties with, like you said, everybody there. You lost Tyreek Hill for the season. Like you mentioned, Jalen Waddle. What are they? I mean, he probably has some trade interest if teams were to make the right deal, and you just kind of start over. Everybody was excited when the Mike McDaniel era took over. They made the playoffs. Tua was looking like a franchise quarterback, and then he got banged up, different injuries here and there, concussions and stuff like that. And he'd never really been the same since then. Watching Hard Knocks, I don't know about you, but I always kind of become a fan of maybe not the team, but it is cool to see the inside workings behind the scenes of how teams operate. And you kind of root for guys like, hey, man, he seems like it's cool. Like Hard Knocks completely changed my mind on Aaron Rodgers, like I mentioned when they covered the Jets. And you're just like, I'm kind of rooting for that guy. But at the end of the day, like you mentioned, it is a business, and that's why Hard Knocks just completely went away with the cutting of players because it was too harsh. And then, yeah, I mean, that's the pillow soft society we live in, Mark. We can't even show cut days on a network that throws around F-bombs like crazy, by the way. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The stage or the scene set here for the Miami Dolphins, because it does not look good.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up about Tyreek Hill too. I would I would try and deal him as fast as he got healthy. I would try and get rid of him, um, just because the amount of contract that he's eating up. Number one, number two is the amount of problems he's going to be when you're going to be worse than what you were this year. I see another Antonio Brown, not as crazy, but he's going to be pissed that he's not getting the ball, that he's not winning. He's going to act out. I say you deal him now.
Yeah. Do you see Tyreek Hill taking his jersey and shirt off in the middle of a game and just walking out?
No, I don't see it that bad.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy. A
Yeah.
couple games still in progress right now. About 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Rams all over the Saints, 34-10. The Jacksonville Jaguars over the Raiders right now. 4 minutes left in that game, 20-16. How about Cam Little, an NFL record mark, 68-yard field goal. So that is the new standard. And that is what people will have to reach for. How about the Buffalo Bills? Broncos love this. All over the Kansas City Chiefs, 28-13. Fourth quarter, just getting going. So things are looking good for the Broncos, at least in the AFC West. And then tomorrow night's game, the Monday night game, the Washington Commanders, 3-5, going up against the Seahawks, who may be a surprising 5-2 with Sam Darnold at the helm. Anything you want to dive into here with the games that are being in progress right now, or the Monday night game, and of course the Sunday night game later tonight? The Arizona Cardinals will see Jacoby Brissett get the start for Kyler Murray. We all know that Battlefield was released, so he is busy. Call of Duty 7 comes out soon, so we're not going to see him maybe the rest of the season going up against the Dallas Cowboys, who are 3-4-1.
Yeah, he's going to cut off the Arizona Cardinals like they cut off the food stamps. It's not looking pretty for Kyler Murray with all these video games coming out. But no, I think it's interesting, the Bills doing their thing against the Chiefs, because that's kind of always been their boogeyman, their bugaboo, if you will. I'm not saying that the Chiefs are the team to beat, but it's going to be a good little feather in their hat this season as they do make their way, going forward. So I think that one's interesting as it sits, especially if they continue to handle the Chiefs. And then tonight's game, I'm giving it to the Seahawks. I think old Sam Darnold over there can still sling the ball, doing his thing, as he's not looking bad this year. Only 4 picks, 12 tutties, 1,700 yards, not looking terrible. I think that's the underdog of the NFC that could make some damage, is the Seahawks. So I think that one's going to be fun. That team's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Comment from Brian here, Mark. How long does the Raiders give Geno Smith if they lose this game? Kind of like a Tua situation. I think Geno Smith leads the league in interceptions at this point in time. Could be wrong about that. But, Pete Carroll coming back to coaching, took over the Raiders. He more or less brought Geno Smith from Seattle and brought him down to Vegas. I mean, how short or long of a leash now does Geno Smith have with O'Connell behind him? I forgot who else they have.
Pickett's also there.
Kenny Pickett.
Honestly, I'd give Pete Carroll. Here's the thing: everybody.
Maybe not Pete Carroll, but at least Geno Smith. How long do you give him before you're?
Well, no, I know, that's what I'm saying. I'd give Pete Carroll a lot, whatever he wanted to do with the decision with Geno, because he started everything new over there in Vegas, and Geno had a great season last year. I say relax, don't hit the panic button. You guys weren't going to be winners this year anyhow. Let Geno figure it out with his new team and the new weapons that he has, and when the rest of the additions are made throughout the rest of this year and next offseason, make a go with him again. That's what I say.
Well, apparently that's what Pete Carroll says too, and they are riding with riding with Gino. We'll see how long for. We saw flashes of Aiden O'Connell, last season, and I mean he did okay. I don't know if he's necessarily has a skill set or maybe not yet to be a starting quarterback in this league. Geno Smith being a former first round pick of the Jets way back, I wouldn't say he has the benefit of the doubt, Mark, because he had a pretty good couple seasons in Seattle. Just struggling mightily with the Oakland Raiders. Wow. The Vegas Raiders. And yeah, Oakland doesn't even have a team anymore.
They have nothing. They have nothing now.
They have 2 abandoned arenas. That's what they got.
Well,
do they still claim the Warriors? Because the Warriors did move to San Francisco.
Yes, they did. I don't think they do. I don't even think they claim them because they went across the bridge.
I mean, it was cute when they were like, "It's the Bay Area. We share teams." No,
and they had to lean on anything they could.
Yeah, I mean that's and like you said, now they're left with nothing, absolutely nothing. So poor little Oakland. I mean, even the A's couldn't even finish their term in Oakland at the Coliseum. Yeah. They went to some community college in Sacramento to finish their 2 years in California before they moved to Vegas, and they're
it's
just
rough.
"Oh, we're done." Yeah, I mean,
it's rough over there.
Let's face it. There's rats in the broadcast booth at the Oakland Coliseum. It was bad.
Yeah, they couldn't keep all the lights on.
I mean, you shouldn't be playing baseball there anyway. It's a football stadium. I mean,
right.
they had to tarp off half of the stadium just to look like
just
make
so
it look
semi-decent.
Yeah, because and it's still weird because it's not the Oakland A's, it's the Athletics. TM, Vegas pending trademark there, but they still have 9 World Series championships to their credit. So Dodgers just tied them, by the way, with 9.
Yep, they sure did.
Sure.
Now, back to the Raiders, though. I think the other thing too, because a lot of people are trying to throw the blame on Geno. If I'm not mistaken, a couple of their guards have gone down over the year. I think a couple of the tackles have gone down. They've kind of not been near as bad as the Chargers with the line, but that plus an absolutely brand new system. Everything that's going on. Jacoby Myers went down for a little while, so there's been a lot of changes. Bringing Geno over and putting him into a brand new system with brand new everything. I say if you're a Raiders fan, don't be quick to just look at the headline. Dive deep into the numbers. Find out what the problem really is. Give Geno some time. Don't hit the panic button. Relax. Trust in Pete. He does have 2 Super Bowls, and before he ruined USC, he was dominant over there as well. So I say hang in there.
Hey, didn't they give USC all their stuff back after that?
Did they? I was going to ask that.
Well, they gave Reggie Bush's Heisman back. So I would assume did they give Pete Carroll at least some credit or no? I don't know.
I don't know. That'd be interesting to look up.
Yeah. This guy over here, we're going to strip him of his title, by the way. So yeah, we will see what happens with Geno and the Raiders. Anything else on any of your lists? Watching, not watching, pissed off at besides the Packers and the Dodgers?
No, I think that covers all of that nonsense. Like I said, I'm done with sports. I'm going to go be a Kyler Murray after this and play Battlefield.
There you go. Yeah, I did see something that said, Call of Duty 7's coming out soon, so RIP Battlefield. Battlefield tried to sneak some time in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So. I mean, hey, they're making a hell of a go. It's a pretty. I don't know if you played it yet, but it's pretty fun.
Which one, Battlefield?
Yeah.
And I haven't. No, I have not. Long story short, no. There you go. All right. Well, we will move on to our entertainment portion of the pod, in which we week before were assigned a TV show or a movie. If it's Mark, it's usually a movie, but he got a change of pace this last week, as he already failed his assignment, but we'll give him a little bit of slack for that because of his work schedule. And so there you go. And then we will spin the wheel review. We also have a big network announcement here coming up shortly. So yeah, your assignment was to watch, and again, it might have been unfair on my part, but I didn't hear you complaining about it last week when I threw this at you. But you had to watch all 12 episodes. Again, this is more of a mini series than it is a regular series, but the HBO classic Band of Brothers was your assignment for last week. I know you said you only got a couple of, which is fine, by the way, but again, I'm just going to throw this out there. I recommend this to anybody who loves any kind of, history, any kind of battles, wartime, whatever it is. Just a great all-around series. What was your take on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. The historical accuracy in there is phenomenal. The eyewitness accounts that they got to take, phenomenal. I mean, if you love World War II stuff, if you love any kind of war stuff, like you said, 10 out of 10 recommend. You need to watch this if you haven't. I did only get three episodes. I think I'm on episode 4, so I got only 3 episodes in. As you stated, this is way more of a mini series, as each episode I think is like an hour. And I'm not complaining. I'm still gonna finish it no matter what I draw here tonight, here in a few minutes. But no, it's a great story. It's about Easy Company and the Airborne, as they follow the entire company with, like I said, eyewitness accounts and the people that actually lived it and did these things. They got all of their stuff together before every episode. They interview some of the guys that were still alive at the time that this was made. And they follow from D-Day, from the invasion of Normandy, all the way to Hitler's front door. Captain Sobel, otherwise known as Roz from Friends, was just, I think, asshole is the nice word compared to what that guy really was.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to get. Again, not a likable character, obviously, but he did try to get the best out of everybody. I feel like.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree with that. I think he tried to get the best out of it, but I think he was doing it for personal accolades, other than either the point, the war effort, or for the benefit of his men. But yeah, and he ended up moving on. Winters steps up, does his thing, and like I said, I'm a sucker for a creator who falls in love with his characters enough to show the world the characters and let them develop and let them, put them in situations where you can either feel sympathetic, hate them, love them, whatever it is. And this miniseries does exactly that, where you every new character that gets introduced, you get to know well, you get to, like I said, love them, hate them, whatever you do, and however the writer intended for you to feel about them, and that's how you feel, and it nails all of those on every account. So yeah, I'm going to continue to watch that no matter what I draw tonight. So 10 out of 10 recommend. This is probably hands down my favorite miniseries ever.
Yeah, it is. It is very good. And then, like you mentioned, David Schwimmer, Captain Sobel, kind of a dick to everybody, but again, maybe just trying to get the best out of everybody. I mean, he's a stickler for uniform and placements, and somebody's pants was not pleated the right way or whatever. So he gave him a citation. So stuff like that. And then obviously Ron Livingston as I forgot his name in the series, but just a great performance by him. You saw a young Tom Hardy in this series. Yeah. You saw a young Colin Hanks in this series, which obviously his dad helped write and produce this show with Steven Spielberg? With
I think you're right. Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg kind of sounds right.
Yeah, we don't know much about what we talk about, but
and then you got Donnie Wahlberg in there. I mean, you got a bunch of guys that you don't know their name, but you know their faces in there.
Yeah,
and
especially
just a bunch of great actors and actresses that come together and make this happen.
Yeah, Neil McDonough, who's been in a lot of stuff. Bull played by a very young Michael Cutlitz, which from Mighty Ducks, The Walking Dead, stuff like that. Lex Luthor in one of the recent Spider-Man movies as well. So it is just a great overall, just great. I mean, it's again, like you, it's one of my favorite, not only miniseries. Yeah, it is Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, by the way. Thank you, Jeremy, for correcting us there. And
Appreciate that.
yeah, so just great all around. But yeah, young Tom Hardy, young Colin Hanks. There's a couple other. Jimmy Fallon makes an appearance, running some supplies into the camp.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so very good. I love the dude who plays Gonorrhea. They call him Gonorrhea.
Grenier.
Yeah, Grenier. And then it's cool, like after kind of mixed in through the episodes, Mark, they actually have the guys who were in there. I mean, they're old, they were old guys at the time. This came out 25 years ago now, but I mean, they had the actual guys who these characters are based off of, kind of tell their story in throughout, and that was very cool as well.
Yeah, and getting to watch their face as they recall these events, and then their emotion that follows with it, I think that absolutely seals everything that makes it, great, and what you're watching, like I said, as historically accurate as what they, at least what they were told by the people in front of them,
Yeah, and then it is funny because Damian Lewis is kind of the main character. You follow him around. Good old Dick Winters is his name. Richard Winters. Lewis Nixon, by the way, is the name of Ron Livingston's character. But yeah, there's, like you said, there's a lot of guys who you've seen in other stuff, and like you mentioned, Donnie Wahlberg and stuff like that. Just a whole list of guys in this. Ross McCall. Who was league how do you say Leagot? He kind of could he spoke a little German and Polish, so he was able to translate. He was in the series White Collar, which I had to watch about a month or so ago. So yeah, a lot of character actors again who you see and you're like, I don't know his name, but he's been in a lot of stuff. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that series as well. Speaking of HBO, I had to watch an HBO series, and it was titled The Sopranos. And a very good series, one of my favorite series as well. I did just watch the pilot. I did finish binging my guilty pleasure show, by the way. Laugh and giggle if you want, but Selling Sunset is in the books, season 9 or whatever it is, in the books. Drama filled, as always, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, back to The Sopranos. Obviously, just did the pilot for this one. Introduces James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano, New Jersey mob boss. And if you look very closely in this pilot episode, Mark, you can see Chauncey Billups. So he's struggling with some panic attacks and kind of balancing basically his family life. He's got 2 kids and his wife, who he is I'm trying to think of the word, just a, what do you call that? But someone who just smokes profusely.
Chain smoker?
Not that, but I mean, all right, if you're going to talk chain smoker, he's a chain cheater, I guess. I mean, he has so many side pieces, it's unbelievable. But he's struggling with panic attacks and stuff like that, building this criminal empire. He does end up fainting or collapsing at a family barbecue.
Is that where they had the X-ray poker table?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I think that was located in the strip club in which they held most of where they were basically headquartered. So they were introduced. Yeah, we're introduced to Jennifer Melfi, who is his therapist, who he obviously tries to sleep with basically the entire time he's in therapy. He discusses his anxiety, changes and decline of his diet. He does basically tell her everything that he does for his job, because he learns that she can't share this information with really anybody, kind of doctor-patient confidentiality. So he's banking on that. He's dealing with obviously problems within his organization. He's trying to purchase X-ray vision poker tables, including, this power struggle with his uncle, Junior Soprano, because Tony Soprano's dad was basically the head of the family. He passed away. We didn't really see that. And then Was it going to go to Tony Soprano, his son, or Junior Soprano, his brother? And so that kind of, and then Junior Soprano ended up not getting sick, but he was struggling with Alzheimer's and stuff like that or whatever. So he was kind of, I guess, not shackled, but he's kind of destined to stay at home. He wasn't really able to leave because his memory loss and stuff like that. He started to not remember where he was. And again, his wife Carmela, who, let's face it, at the time, can we say MILF? Because so basically, she cuts him a lot of slack. She knows about all of his side pieces and stuff like that. So she's got a lot of guts to stay with him. But kind of, you're like, is she staying with him because she loves him, because of the money, because of the house? There's all that factors that in there as well. Obviously, AJ, his son, kind of in a rebellious stage, and then his daughter Meadow, who again, if you see her now. Speaking of which, AJ and Meadow both have a podcast, really good podcast, called Not Today, Pal. I would strongly suggest you go and watch a couple episodes. Hilarious podcast. They talk a lot about the Sopranos as well. So yeah, I mean, New Jersey mob boss, kind of again introducing the plots, introducing the characters, and you're just kind of, I know you didn't get really far into it, but I mean, yeah, I love the intro song, by the way, as well. I don't know if that has to do with anything, but I strongly suggest this series. I think it spanned only 5 seasons, so there's really not a lot of seasons. A lot of controversy, a lot of speculation. What happens at the end of this series? Spoilers, I guess. Even though this came out decades ago, the screen just goes black at the very last episode, and you're kind of on your own to guess kind of what happened, but that's more or less the pilot episode. So I do recommend it. A lot of action, a lot of blood, a lot of gore. Yeah, I mean, it's a mob boss. It's a mob family. So there's a lot of betrayal, a lot of killing and stuff like that. And again, kind of like Band of Brothers in typical HBO fashion. A lot of cameos, a lot of guys you've probably seen in other stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Like it. I'm gonna have to go back to it because, like I said, I stopped. I think season 2, I think is what I said, and so yeah, I've always heard great things. I never really heard a bad thing about The Sopranos.
And it was one of those series, Mark. I think I watched it for the first time like 2 years ago. So I never watched it when it was on. Definitely not a family program by any means. So watch with suggested audiences, but yeah, one of those, again, HBO just pumps these things out and does more. I mean, more often than not, just does a great job.
Nails them. Yeah, just nails them.
Just does a great job with casting. I mean, the acting's phenomenal. Stuff like that. So yeah, definitely recommend it.
Love it. I love it.
All right. Yeah. So all right, we are ready to spin the wheel review here on the mark when on the mic, if I can get the right screen up there. But yeah, so again, we have a very special announcement here coming up when we get our assignments for next week. And I think I did spin. I don't remember who spins first anymore.
I don't either. We just got to flip a coin every Sunday, I guess.
All right. Well, I'll go first this time. How about that?
I like it. Surprise, surprise.
You gotta be kidding me. Crowd loves it, of course. But all right, now we'll spin the genre wheel now. Drama again. I think that's a few times in a row now I've gotten not only TV shows but drama category.
I think the wheel's trying to let you know that it doesn't find enough excitement in your life, so it needs you to dive into the drama.
By the way, if it lands on Sons of Anarchy, we will be respinning. Oh, there you go.
There it is. Game of Thrones.
All right, now we're gonna spin the wheel to see how many I have to watch. So the options are the pilot, 5 episodes, or co-host choice.
Don't judge me, but I haven't watched a minute of Game of Thrones.
Well, I hope it lands on it for you because you're watching the entire series on top of Band of Brothers. All right, so I'm just gonna do the first 5 episodes of Game of Thrones. Again, another HBO series, which is crazy, but yeah, just another. Again, almost like the Sopranos, kind of a lot of controversy at the end of the series, how it ended. Not like the Sopranos, but we'll get into it when I review it next week. All right, Mark, are you ready?
Let's rock and roll. Let's see what movie I get.
You did get a movie.
It's almost like I can predict the future.
All right. Yeah, you should do some of my sports betting. All right, let's see what movie genre you get. The categories are cartoon, action, comedy, horror, sports, and Marvel Madness.
Let me get the second Mighty Ducks. Come on.
Horror, your favorite. Right
Oh
on,
man.
right on the button.
It's because I got my favorite show last week, so now I gotta get punished this week.
Your favorite genre of all time. All right, let's see what you get. And if it lands on Poltergeist, we will respin.
I like that.
There you go. We just missed Halloween.
Just a couple of days late.
There you go. So Halloween
is the first one.
Yeah, I know there's like 8 of them. So yeah, the first one. By the way, how was your Halloween? Do anything fun? Pass out candy? Did you dress up?
You know, I didn't. My kids kept changing their mind on what they wanted me to be, so I did not get to dress up this year as the last minute shopping went to getting their costumes and getting their stuff put together.
You went as confused parent. That's a good costume.
Yeah. I went as the irritated dad driving 4 miles an hour, making sure I didn't run over kids.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was good. Got to hang out with the kids. The kids got a mean haul of candy, so that's always fun. And then went and hung out with a couple friends. Had a few after, and had a nice little night. It was nice. How about yours?
Pretty boring. Worked, so that's always fun, and did not see one kid.
Oh, that sucks. Well, depends. Sometimes that might be nice.
Saved a boatload on candy. Or you just buy candy.
You can have candy throughout Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say, or you just buy candy and eat it yourself.
Right.
Shut off all the lights outside so nobody comes.
Nobody shows up.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. By the way, episode 2 of It, Welcome to Derry, came out on Halloween, of course. So, again, maybe a little spoilers. A little bit, I have my review up on the website, e5280sports.com, for episode 2. Kind of a slower episode. Episode 1 just knocked it out of the park. So much going on. Again, why is the Air Force in the area? We're kind of getting a glimpse of why now. So stay tuned for that if you're watching this series. And I will say, without seeing Pennywise the clown, Pennywise is alive and well in Derry right now. And by the way, the time frame takes place, I think it's set in 1962, Derry, Maine, by the way. So if you were wondering, again, the prequel series to the It movies, written and produced and directed by the same people who did the movies as well. So it kind of all is consistent, and a lot of the characters in this show are related to the kids in the movies in different ways. So if you catch those little Easter eggs, it's pretty cool. But again, HBO, I don't know what's in the water over there, Mark, but they are just, again, just so good.
I mean, well, yeah, you got a demon baby and a killer clown. I mean, there's something going on in Derry that we need to investigate this.
Yeah, well, again, that's why the military, I think, is there. They don't know about the demon baby. Is the demon baby Pennywise? We don't know anything yet. And I was watching these videos, Mark, about kind of the Stephen King lure about this kind of universe. All of his books really connect to each other. It's all kind of set in the same universe. By the way, Pennywise's biggest nemesis is a giant space turtle, by the way. I just learned that. Giant space turtle.
Checks out.
Yeah, I mean,
That's got to check out.
so if you see Pennywise the clown lurking around, I hate to say it, but you might have to sacrifice your turtle. Just throw it at him.
I mean, just call good old Crust from Nemo, but he's up in the stars now.
Hey,
right?
if the Ninja Turtles are around, you're in good hands.
Where's Michael Bay?
Yeah, so there you go. Just a little preview of how that series is going as well. Again, still way behind on Daryl Dixon. I don't even know if it ended yet this season. It's crazy.
Disappointed in myself.
Yeah, so am I. I couldn't even tell you if the season is over. It is crazy that it's in the third season already. So hopefully catch up on those. I don't know if reviews and stuff on the website are going to be necessary, but hopefully we get back into it when a new season. By the way, the new trailer dropped for Stranger Things 5. So if you haven't caught that, we will be doing a recap and review show on that called Talking Strange. So stay tuned for that in about a couple weeks from now. I think the first episode drops November 26th, 28th. I think it's the day after Thanksgiving, so it's a Friday. So stay tuned for that. And again, they're spreading it out. They said like each episode's like 4 hours long. It's gonna be crazy. Just craziness all around. So stay tuned for that. Big announcement though, right now. Kind of been, I guess, tackling this idea for a couple months now, Mark, and it's kind of been stressful, kind of been overwhelming. But we are changing the network name. So we will not be Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle anymore. The name of the website will be changing as well. So kind of a first view of our new network logo. Kind of the highest, I guess, vote total or kind of what everybody agreed on and stuff like that. So here is more or less the new logo. And so we will be changing our name to the Recliner Media Network. So that is going to be our new name. So stay tuned. If you follow us on socials or whatever like that, you're okay. You don't have to do anything else. Just the name will change. So if you see the Recliner Media Network posting about stuff that Elevation posts, it's the same people, don't worry. And so, yeah, that is going to be our new name, our new logo. And the shows will remain the same. No change in show names and stuff like that. But that is going to be our new network name. When everything is going to change over depends on when I or we stop being lazy. And so, yeah. So there it is, Mark.
Hey, to an end of an era, to the beginning of a new one, and glad to be on this ride. It's fun, and I think you're onto something with that logo, man. I love it.
Yeah, so we will see. Just kind of a shorter, I don't know if sleeker is the right word, but kind of a shorter, I guess maybe catchier name. Every time everyone asks, "Oh, what's the name of the network?" Then it's so long to say Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle. I can't even say it right. Lifestyle. I almost said Life Turtle at one point, but yeah. So it just kind of explaining that. Obviously 10 years ago now, we kind of just begun things as talking about Denver sports. That's where Elevation 5280 came from. And now that we're, doing more entertainment stuff like that, shows, movies, writing reviews about TV shows and stuff like that, we are more on the entertainment side. So kind of media encapsulates all of that. And I think the logo does a good job of kind of encapsulating. There's a little bit of hidden stuff in there. I sent this to Mark yesterday, and I said he pointed them out right away. So I guess it's not that hidden. So there are a couple Easter eggs, if you will, within the logo too. Just more than just sports. So I think media just kind of encapsulates, more than just sports, what we talk about. But again, the focus is sports. But and that was kind of the idea, bringing, because we used to be Elevation 5280 Sports, kind of bringing that lifestyle word in, just kind of making it more well-rounded, but shorter, a little bit sleeker, maybe a little bit catchier. So that'll be the idea moving forward. Again, don't know when everything's going to change over. A lot of stuff to change, a lot of logos and banners and intros and stuff like that. So yeah, just stay tuned.
Love it.
There you go. All right, but that is going to do it for us here on the Mark When on the Mic. Mark, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Nope. Enjoy the Sunday night game, the Monday night game, and the sports to follow. Like I said, I am taking a break from sports for the rest of the weekend. But no, glad to be back with you this week. This was fun. Looking forward to next week. And guys, everybody out there, have a good weekend.
There you go. All right, that is going to do it for us once again. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe to all of our socials. Again, those names will be changing, so you don't have to do anything. Don't unsubscribe or unlike because you didn't know what it was. Please. In fact, instead of doing that, do the opposite and share and repost and stuff like that. This and many pods on the network brought to you by Pike Peak Sports Cards as well. But for Mark Saxton, I am Michael Spill, and we will talk to you next week.